Building your personal power. Harnessing the magnetic force within. It is a peculiar and somewhat amusing phenomenon that the general public widely accepts the concept of personal magnetism, yet remains largely ignorant of its true nature. While nearly everyone acknowledges the existence of this remarkable force, few possess a genuine understanding of its principles or how to apply them effectively. The belief in the existence of a personal power, influence, or aura that allows certain individuals to attract, influence, dominate, or control others has persisted throughout recorded history. It is time to shed light on this mysterious and powerful force. Personal magnetism is not some mystical or supernatural ability, but rather a set of skills and traits that can be developed and honed. By mastering the principles of personal magnetism, you can enhance your charisma, influence, and leadership abilities, and achieve greater success in all areas of your life. Do not be content with mere belief in the existence of personal magnetism. Take action to understand and harness this force, and unlock your full potential as a leader and influencer. Throughout the ages, the oldest writings of our race have made reference to a mysterious and powerful force possessed by certain individuals. This force has the ability to attract and influence others, yet it remains largely misunderstood. As we dig deeper into human history, we see a constant acknowledgement of this strange power, yet it remains shrouded in mystery. Fast forward to the present day, an era in which the study of psychology and psychic subjects has gained significant attention. Despite this, the public remains largely unaware of the true nature of this force and how to harness its power. Personal magnetism has only grown stronger, yet the knowledge surrounding it remains limited. It is time to shed light on this perplexing force and unlock its full potential. With a bold and determined approach, we can uncover the secrets of personal magnetism and use it to our advantage. Let us embark on this journey of discovery and unlock the true power of the individual. The lack of knowledge regarding personal influence is a common issue among the general public. However, throughout history, there have been advanced individuals who have thoroughly understood and employed the force of personal influence. This knowledge has been passed down from spiritual students of the past to their successors, and many of the greatest men in history have acquired a thorough understanding of this power and used it to advance their own interests. Some individuals in this last-mentioned class have received direct instruction from spiritual teachers, while others have stumbled upon the existence of this power within themselves and advanced their knowledge through careful investigation, study, and constant experimentation. Many of these individuals have testified to their knowledge and use of this most wonderful power in their writings or sayings. Personal magnetism is a term that is difficult to define, as its principles are little understood by the masses. Even the dictionaries provide vague definitions. However, the best definition is the following: personal magnetism is the strong, peculiar, but little understood power, force, or influence exerted by certain individuals, in varying degrees, by means of which other persons are attracted to, controlled by, dominated, or influenced by the individual possessing the power. It is a form of mental influence exerted by certain individuals over those with whom they come in contact. It is time for us to recognize the power of personal influence and to strive to understand and employ it in our own lives. By doing so, we can attract, control, dominate, and influence those around us, ultimately achieving our goals and advancing our interests. Let us not be confined by our lack of knowledge, but rather let us embrace the power of personal magnetism and use it to our advantage. The above definition of personal magnetism is fairly good, but there is one principal objection that I, personally, have with it. It implies that only certain individuals possess this powerful force, while the rest of us are devoid of it. This is a sad mistake. The truth is that every single person possesses a certain degree of personal magnetism. And with knowledge and practice, each of us can increase the degree and strengthen the power of this force. Even the most unmagnetic person possesses personal magnetism, perhaps even to a considerable degree. However, they are generally ignorant of the nature of this force and the means of its employment. As a result, they actually repel other people instead of attracting them. It's important to note that personal magnetism, like material magnetism, can repel as well as attract. It has its positive as well as its negative side. Many very repellent persons are actually manifesting a high degree of personal magnetism in a negative form, and are driving away people from them in the same manner that others attract people to them. It's all a matter of the use of the power. The fact is that every person generates and throws off a certain degree of personal magnetism, which affects the minds of other people coming within the field of its influence. So, don't underestimate the power of your personal magnetism. With knowledge and practice, you can increase its strength and use it to attract people and opportunities into your life. Remember, you are in possession of this force, and it's up to you to use it to your advantage. Every person possesses a unique and powerful force known as personal magnetism. Not only do we emanate and project this energy, but we are also constantly surrounded by a field of personal magnetic influence, a personal atmosphere, if you will. This aura affects those who come within its reach to varying degrees. The strength, extent, and character of this personal atmosphere vary greatly among individuals. While the average person has a weak personal atmosphere that extends only a short distance, the strong characters of our race are surrounded by a widely spread personal atmosphere of great power. When these individuals are aroused by strong emotions, feelings, or desires, their personal atmosphere becomes even more potent. The personal atmosphere of recognized leaders of our human race extends great distances and is saturated with strong dynamic magnetism. It impresses itself strongly upon those who come within their field of influence. However, even weaker individuals unconsciously exert some degree of influence on those around them. It is undeniable that some individuals emanate an atmosphere of good cheer, brightness, and happiness, which affects all those with whom they come in contact. It requires but a moment's thought to recognize the impact of such individuals on our lives. Personal magnetism and the personal atmosphere it creates are powerful forces that shape our interactions with others. Whether we are strong or weak, we all possess this energy, and it is up to us to harness it for the betterment of ourselves and those around us. Many people are surrounded by an aura of negativity, pessimism, and discouragement that can have a detrimental effect on those around them. While this may seem like a common occurrence, it is actually the key to understanding the higher forms of personal magnetism. Most people associate personal magnetism with positivity and attraction, but it may come as a shock to learn that a repelling personal atmosphere can be equally magnetic, just in the wrong direction. This is not surprising when we consider that even physical magnets can repel as strongly as they attract. While there are some individuals who seem to neither attract nor repel, they are usually of weak magnetism and character. They lack strong motives, aims, desires, or personality traits, resulting in a neutral condition akin to lukewarm water. As a result, they exert only a neutral influence and have a weak personal atmosphere that neither attracts nor repels. They simply bore those around them. It is important to recognize the power of personal magnetism and strive to cultivate a positive and attractive aura. By doing so, we can become more influential and successful in our personal and professional lives. So, let us embrace the power of personal magnetism and use it to our advantage. Many people may question the importance of studying personal magnetism, especially if everyone possesses it to some degree. However, this question is often met with a smile from those who truly understand the subject. While it is true that everyone has personal magnetism, the majority of people have weak and negative magnetic forces. But fear not, for even the weakest and most negative person can develop their personal magnetism to match or even surpass those who were originally far ahead of them. By studying and practicing, one can completely transform their personal magnetism from negative to positive, from undesirable to desirable. With sufficient willpower, perseverance, and determination, anyone can develop from an inadequate state of magnetism to a condition of giant magnetic powers. So, do not underestimate the power of personal magnetism. It is a force that can greatly impact your personal and professional life. Take the time to invest in yourself and develop your magnetic influence. You will be amazed at the results. Achieving personal magnetism requires determination, constant practice, and an indomitable will. While anyone can easily increase their degree of personal magnetism and change the character of their personal atmosphere, the higher prizes are reserved for those who persevere to the end and remain faithful in their exercises. This is true not only for personal magnetism but for anything worth having. There is no royal road to success, and we must work for what we want. The prizes are not for the weaklings and triflers, but for the persistent and earnest individuals who will hang on until they succeed. It is up to you to determine the degree of success you will attain. Success must and will be yours if you carefully, persistently, and perseveringly work at improving. Success is in your own hands. Some writers on personal magnetism have fallen into the error of considering the entire secret to be found in telepathy or the transference of thought. While the mental phase of personal magnetism is indeed wonderful, these writers have overlooked the physical pole of the magnetic personality. Achieving personal magnetism requires hard work, determination, and an unwavering will. The rewards are reserved for those who persevere and remain faithful in their exercises. With the right tools and instructions, success is within your reach. It is up to you to take the necessary steps to achieve it. The second phase of personal magnetism is just as crucial as the mental phase. If you want to cultivate and develop your personal magnetism, you must give the physical phase the same careful attention and practice as the mental phase. There are two distinct phases or poles of personal magnetism, the mental and the physical. Your success depends on the coordination of the force of both poles. Some may find the idea of a physical phase of personal magnetism strange, as they are accustomed to hearing that personal magnetism is purely a mental phenomenon. However, I will thoroughly convince you that this second pole of personal magnetism truly exists and is equally potent as the mental phase. As a dual organism, a man has both mental and physical phases of manifestation, both mind and body. Therefore, his personal force is composed of two distinct phases or poles, each coordinating with the other to manifest energy and create effects. Some individuals have more mental magnetism, while others have more physical magnetism. However, the person who truly manifests the highest degree of personal magnetism is the one who is developed along both poles of activity, both phases of magnetism, physical as well as mental. So, do not neglect the physical phase of personal magnetism. Give it the same attention and practice as the mental phase, and you will see the results in your personal magnetism. Remember, coordination of both poles is the key to success. The power of personal magnetism is a force to be reckoned with. It is a combination of both mental and physical energy that can affect those around us in profound ways. The mental pole of personal magnetism relies on the mind's ability to create thought waves and project them beyond the limits of the brain and into our personal atmosphere. This energy can even extend beyond our own personal space when necessary. However, Without a strong supply of physical magnetism, these thought waves lack the necessary strength to produce significant results. The physical magnetism is needed to give body to the mental magnetism, just as the mental magnetism is needed to give color, character, and soul to the physical magnetism. The two phases of magnetism must work together to achieve the best effects. In the past, it was challenging to convey the facts about the mental phase of personal magnetism. It seemed like a strange and mysterious concept. But in today's world, where telepathy, thought transference, and mind power are widely discussed, the average person is well versed in the general subject matter. As a result, they can readily understand the special features of thought power as manifested in personal magnetism. Personal magnetism is a powerful force that can have a significant impact on those around us. By combining mental and physical energy, we can create a magnetic field that draws people towards us and influences them in positive ways. So, let us harness the power of personal magnetism and use it to achieve our goals and make a difference in the world. It is no longer necessary to provide a comprehensive education on the subject of telepathy before delving into the specifics of personal magnetism. I assume that you, as the student, have some prior knowledge of thought transference, and therefore, I will not waste your time by rehashing old information. However, I do believe it is important to highlight some of the latest scientific discoveries regarding the transfer of thoughts. Science has revealed that the human brain generates and consumes a certain amount of energy during the thinking process. This energy production results in an increase in temperature in the brain tissue, which can be measured using sensitive instruments. This energy is a tangible force, much like electricity or magnetism, and is governed by similar laws and principles. Furthermore, this energy is not confined to the brain but extends beyond it, creating a thought atmosphere around the individual. This thought energy can affect the brains of others who come within its field of influence. Personal magnetism is a fascinating subject that requires an understanding of the energy generated by the brain and its impact on others. As you embark on this journey of discovery, keep in mind the latest scientific findings and the power of your own thought energy. The discovery of radioactivity in certain newly discovered elements of matter, particularly in the case of radium, has revolutionized the field of science. It has led to the investigation of the possible radioactivity of other substances, and the results are nothing short of astounding. Advanced science now proclaims that every substance is radioactive, constantly emitting energy or force from itself. This groundbreaking discovery has brought together previously separated facts regarding thought transference, and it is now widely accepted that the human brain is strongly radioactive, constantly sending forth streams of radio energy. The same laws that govern radium are now perceived to govern brain action. This simplifies the matter and brings the subject of thought transference into the general field of science, removing it from the realms of mysticism. The subject is now taught and studied on a scientific basis in the principal universities of the world, and new discoveries are constantly being made regarding it. The physical pole of personal magnetism is not to be found in the flesh or bones of the body, for these are but the crude machinery by which the higher parts of the human organism move and act. Instead, it is to be found in that most wonderful part, or parts, of the organism known as the nervous system. This nervous system is just as remarkable as the brain, and its effects on personal magnetism are just as significant. The implications of this discovery are immense, and it is a testament to the power of science to unlock the mysteries of the universe. We stand on the cusp of a new era of understanding, where the previously inexplicable becomes clear and the impossible becomes possible. The future is bright, and we can only imagine the wonders that await us as we continue to explore the mysteries of the universe. The human nervous system is a complex and fascinating mechanism that is often misunderstood, Many people tend to think of the nerves as simply a part of the body, but in reality, the nervous system is just as much a part of the mental system as the brain itself. In fact, the nervous system is made up of the same type of matter as the brain and generates similar types of energy. Advanced science recognizes that the brain and nervous system are interconnected and governed by the same general laws. This is especially evident when it comes to personal magnetism, where the great nerve centers play a crucial role. While we may refer to the magnetism of the nervous system as physical and that of the brain as mental, this is simply a way to distinguish between the two for teaching purposes. In reality, they are two poles of the same source of energy. The spinal cord, which runs along the spinal column, is the main feature of the nervous system. It is directly connected to the brain matter in the skull and is responsible for transmitting messages throughout the body. Understanding the intricacies of the nervous system is essential for anyone interested in personal magnetism and the power of the mind-body connection. The nervous system is a vital part of the human body and mind. By recognizing its importance and understanding its inner workings, we can tap into its power and unlock our full potential. So let us dig deeper into the mysteries of the nervous system and discover the incredible things it can do for us. The human body is a complex and intricate system, and the nervous system is no exception. Emerging from the spinal cord are numerous sets of nerves, branching out into smaller and smaller filaments until every part of the body is directly connected to the main nerve trunk. Additionally, there are other great cables of nerves that descend into the trunk of the body, connected to the spinal cord system by nerve links. Throughout the body, there are masses of nerve substance, forming knots or tangles of nerves known as plexus or plexuses. The most important of these is the solar plexus, located behind the pit of the stomach, which plays a crucial role in a person's life. A severe blow to this area can even cause the death of a person. The nervous system not only conveys messages from the body to the brain, but it also serves to convey the energy of motion to various parts of the body. Without the impulse coming over the nerves, there can be no motion of any part of the body. When the nerves governing a particular part of the body are paralyzed, that part becomes devoid of motion. Therefore, the nervous system is an integral part of the body's energy-producing system, just as much as the brain. It is essential to remember that the nervous system is a key component of personal magnetism. Understanding its importance and how it functions can unlock the secrets to a more vibrant and energetic life. So, take care of your nervous system, and it will take care of you. As you reflect on the fact that nerve energy extends beyond the confines of the body, just like the energy of the brain, you may begin to grasp the concept I am conveying regarding the second phase of personal magnetism, the physical pole. This phase of magnetism is generated and emitted by the nervous system, particularly by its great centers of plexus. I have deliberately avoided technical scientific terms and expressed myself in the simplest form to ensure that you understand the idea. The mental phase of personal magnetism relies on two coordinated manifestations of mental power. Firstly, holding certain mental states until the mental atmosphere becomes charged with the vibrations of those particular mental states. Secondly, the conscious projection of the mental current from the brain centers, through the action of the individual's will. Now, let me dig into the details of these two mental phases of manifestation. It is a well-known fact among students of this subject that the mental atmosphere of an individual is entirely dependent on the character of the mental states they hold. The mental atmosphere of a hopeful and expectant individual is composed of vibrations of a hopeful and cheerful nature, which can influence and impact other individuals within the field of activity of their personal atmosphere. Personal magnetism is a powerful tool that can be harnessed by anyone who understands its principles. By mastering the physical and mental poles of personal magnetism, you can become a force to be reckoned with in any situation. So, Go ahead and take charge of your personal magnetism today. In the same way that a person's physical appearance can make an impression, their mental state can also have a profound impact on those around them. The mental atmosphere of a gloomy and depressed individual is composed of vibrations that are equally gloomy and depressing, and these vibrations can affect anyone who comes into contact with them. This is true for all mental states, and they will become manifest in a person's mental atmosphere, ultimately affecting those with whom they come into close contact. It doesn't take much to realize the truth of these statements. Just think back to the impressions that different individuals have left on you. Some have left you feeling gloomy, inefficient, and like a failure. Others have left you feeling suspicious, uneasy, and distrustful. But then there are those who have left you feeling cheerful, confident, and full of goodwill. The atmosphere that some people give off is so negative that it makes you want to avoid them altogether. On the other hand, there are those who imbue you with confidence and trust, making you feel like you would like to do business with them. Some people leave you with the impression that you've been in the presence of something slimy and disgusting, while others create the impression that they are a good friend and can be depended upon as a helper and comrade. It's clear that our mental states have a profound impact on those around us. So, it's important to be mindful of the vibrations we are putting out into the world. By cultivating positive mental states, we can create an atmosphere that is conducive to success, happiness, and healthy relationships. Have you ever wondered why some people just give you a bad feeling, even if they haven't said or done anything wrong? It's not about their words or actions, but rather the energy they emit. Our brains are sensitive to the thought vibrations of others, and this can affect how we feel about them. It's not just about individuals either. The places they frequent can also be affected by their personal atmosphere. Have you ever walked into a house and felt a sense of sadness or negativity, even if it's been unoccupied for some time? On the other hand, some places just radiate positivity and happiness. So, the next time you meet someone or enter a new space, pay attention to the energy you feel. It may not be something you can put into words, but it's worth acknowledging and considering. After all, our brains are powerful tools that can pick up on more than just words and actions. It is a well-known fact that certain places and offices are so imbued with the personal atmospheres of their occupants that one can feel it upon entering the door. A person may try to hide their thoughts with words or facial expressions, but their mental vibrations will often give them away. These are not mere speculations, but rather undeniable truths that can be confirmed through personal experience. It is important to take note of this fact and keep it in mind as we move forward. Some individuals leave little impression on us because their mental states are so fleeting and inconsistent that they fail to impart a definite shade of thought color to their personal atmosphere. On the other hand, those with strong feelings, desires, and emotions, whether good or bad, have a powerful and constant mental state that forcefully impresses itself upon their personal atmosphere. It is impossible not to notice it. It is crucial to avoid harboring mental states that may inspire undesirable feelings in others. At the same time, we should strive to cultivate mental states that are likely to awaken desirable feelings in those we encounter. A moment's thought will reveal that these truths are self-evident and must be taken seriously. Therefore, let us be mindful of the personal atmospheres we create and the impact they have on those around us. Let us strive to cultivate positive mental states that inspire and uplift others, rather than negative ones that bring them down. By doing so, we can create a more harmonious and fulfilling environment for ourselves and those we interact with. Do not despair if you have been carrying around an undesirable personal atmosphere. These things can be remedied, and you can completely transform the character of your mental states, thereby changing your personal atmosphere from the worst to the best. It will require work, perseverance, and patience, but the reward is so great that it is worth devoting your time and attention to it. The principle is simple, but it demands determination and a dogged will to achieve the best results, especially in cases where very undesirable conditions have existed. The mental phase of personal magnetism operates in two ways, and the second way involves the conscious projection of mental currents from the brain centers through the action of the individual's will. This also requires work on the part of the student who wishes to create a strong personal atmosphere. The principle of this second form of mental action involves using your will to consciously project thought currents. With a bold tone of voice, I urge you to take charge of your mental states and project the energy you desire to attract. The power is within you, and with dedication and effort, you can achieve the personal magnetism you desire. In the pursuit of stimulating a personal atmosphere or influencing the mind of another, the power of mental vibrations cannot be underestimated. While it is true that one's mental state will naturally create an aura around them, the use of willpower to consciously project these vibrations can greatly enhance their effect. Think of it as building up a reserve of mental magnetism in your brain, colored and shaped by your thoughts and emotions. This aura will be felt by those around you, but imagine the added strength and impact that comes from actively projecting and energizing these vibrations with your will. It's like turning up the volume on your personal power. And the best part? You have the ability to tap into this power whenever you choose. You must develop the knowledge, tools and techniques to harness the full potential of your mental vibrations and project them with force and purpose. So get ready to unleash your bold and powerful self onto the world. Through a little bit of contemplation, you will come to realize the immense impact that can be made on an individual by combining the vibrations of our personal atmosphere with a focused and unwavering stream of mental force directed towards their mind. Can you see the significance of this? First, you affect them with the energy of your own personal aura, and then, when they are in the perfect state of receptivity, you unleash a psychic bullet that hits them right in the center of their mind with tremendous force. Initially, this may seem like an arduous task that requires an immense amount of willpower on your part. However, this is not the case. Thought currents are highly responsive to the action of the will, and the key is to hold your will steadfastly to the task at hand. The thought currents will then flow effortlessly through the channel that you have created for them. It's like aiming a rifle and letting the force of the powder drive the bullet home, or pointing a hose nozzle exactly where you want the water to go, and then turning on the water to watch it fly straight to the mark. Boldly embrace the power of your will and the potency of your thoughts. With a little bit of focus and determination, you can create a profound impact on those around you. Peace. You must make each day a successful and blessed day.